I want to talk about this recent story involving rapper Saweetie getting exposed by her former road manager, who basically accused her of moving like an escort. I'm sure a lot of people recognize the name, or at least the face. Saweetie got it popping back in 2017 with her breakout song Icy Girl. After that, she had a few big hits and a very public relationship with the rapper Quavo. But even though her music pushed her to the top, a lot of the conversations around her career has always been about her image, her relationships, and whether the fame was built on more than just the music.
Duh. I feel like everybody who know anything about Saweetie should know her career was never based off her music, bro. It's about how she look and she pretty, and sometimes it would be like a joke. Like people would joke about how she really can't rap for real. Like when she was on the interview with who was that? Ebro, I think Ebro and all them. And they had her rapping and they was laughing at her in her face. Like she literally was a joke for a certain point in time. Not to disrespect her or nothing like that. It's just the truth. Nobody looked at Saweetie as no like rapper that people wanted to cut on and listen to. Maybe the girls did at one point, but I think the majority of her career was all about her image. Like the dude said, her image, her look, and all of that. So, and the type of girl she is, if y'all ever watch them type of shows about the music, like not shows about the music business, but shows that resemble music business, stuff like that, girls like Saweetie always end up doing crazy stuff behind the scenes. Look at her. Pretty as hell for sure. Like, definitely got the image and everything. Like, beautiful girl, but I wouldn't be surprised if she did things that we wouldn't approve of behind the scenes. Are y'all surprised or something?
Her image, her relationships, and whether the fame was built on more than just the music. Now let's get into this particular story. A few days ago, a woman who goes by the name of Maybach May, who claimed to be Saweetie's former road manager, went viral after posting a series of social media posts accusing Saweetie of exploiting her current boyfriend, which is footballer Jadon Sancho, for money. Basically, she claimed that she was the one who arranged Saweetie's trip to London where she met Jadon. Some of y'all might recognize the name or face. Jadon Sancho is a very famous 25-year-old English footballer, or soccer player like Americans would say, who plays for Aston Villa in the Premier League. Saweetie and Jadon first linked up back in January 2025 following her visit to Chelsea FC's home stadium, Stamford Bridge.
Your business
I'm not
is only
surprised
using
about none of this,
20%
bro.
of its data.
I'm not gonna lie.
You could look for
Back when Jadon was...
If you surprised about Saweetie doing any of this stuff, not to say I thought she was doing it before the allegations came out, but you know, sometimes you don't expect somebody doing something, but when you hear that they do it, it's like, I could see that. That's how I look at it. Like, I'm not surprised or nothing. She used the man for money. Like, this happens in the music industry, bro. Y'all don't know that?
playing there for one season on a loan. That trip ended up being a turning point because, according to Saweetie's former road manager, that
I ain't gonna lie, Saweetie be looking good though. We gotta call a spade, bro. Saweetie be looking good though. That's one thing we cannot lie about. She do be looking good. I might let her use me too for a couple months. If I had the money, I might not even be tripping. Like, hey, listen. Let me be quiet, man. Y'all gonna be salty as hell.
Saweetie's former road manager, that's where the story started. Now, Miss Maybach May put up a few posts, but the most
She got a long chin.
prominent one was a screenshot of what she claimed was a text conversation between her and Saweetie. And in those messages, Saweetie was allegedly making an inquiry about Jadon Sancho, basically asking, how much money could I run up if I ended up getting with this guy? And that was one of the most talked about parts.
Wait, what?
Saweetie was allegedly making an inquiry about Jadon Sancho, basically asking, how much money could I run up if I ended up getting with this guy? And that was one of the most talked about parts of these allegations. This text that the ex-manager claimed came from Saweetie herself, and the message said, when bitches run it up on Jadon, how much they doing in a weekend? So that line alone had people online losing their minds, because if that...
Listen, bro, listen to me, man. Y'all gotta be better judges of character. This should not have the internet in a frenzy. I would not care if I was to see this on my own, I wouldn't even have thought two things about it. Like, I wouldn't have cared, because you don't know why? Saweetie seems like the type of girl who would do that. Like, I'm not surprised. Like, if I found out that she wasn't the type of girl who did that, that would be cool too. You feel me? Like, I'm not saying like I just thought that's what she was doing, but now that I'm finding it out, I'm not like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Everything about her career is about how she look, her image, money, like materialistic stuff. She never been no deep type of intellectual type of person. Like, you know what I mean? She never was. Even in her music, all she talk about is I'm an icy out. Like, she care about money. She care about materials, bro. You think that a girl like that is not capable of taking advantage of a man with more money than her? You don't think that that's possible? Y'all gotta stop looking at celebrities like they like high and mighty. Like they can't, like they're not capable of doing things that regular people do. Like she's capable of taking advantage of a man for sure. You don't think so?
That text is real. It sounds like she's asking, how much are other women making off of him, almost like she's comparing rates. And that's what made this whole situation spiral, because it doesn't just sound messy. It sounds very transactional. And this is important because this is not the first time Saweetie has been accused of this type of thing. Over the years, there's been quiet talk, rumors, gossip, whatever you want to call it, through the grapevine about her using relationships as a business move. Now, this is kind of when it starts getting into the territory where people begin throwing around words like selling the pum pum or escorting, which basically is a very serious accusation. Some of y'all might remember how
it's not. It's really not, bro. Girls do that. Like, that's what girls be doing. Not every woman does that. A lot of women, it's a lot of women out here who are good, moral driven women as well, but a lot of women also are selling it, whether it's directly or indirectly. A lot of these women are doing things transactionally. You feel me? And men do things transactionally too. It's just most of the time when it comes down to a woman, a man is doing it for, the sex. You feel me? And I feel like that's transactional too. It's just not in a money form, but it's transactional, bro. Like, I'm not tripping really, honestly. It's Saweetie, bro. Like, I'm not looking for no relationship out of Saweetie, bro. Keep it 100. I'm not. Any woman who care that much about image and materials and looks, and you can always tell with somebody and the things that they talk about and the way that they present themselves, what they care about and hear, bro. You feel me? I've never heard one thing from her that made me think deep about life. Why would I want anything deep out of the relationship with her? I wouldn't even care if she took advantage of me for the money, as long as I got the hit. Like, if I'm keeping it 100, I'm keeping it 100 with y'all. Like, for real. Some women is for that, bro. I'm not tripping. Like, when you go to the strip club, you throwing money to get a dance. You're not throwing money to go take this girl on a date. You feel me? You're not throwing money to have this girl fall in love with you. You throwing money because you want some lustful entertainment. That's how I would feel about women like Saweetie. Like, materialistic women, and I'm out. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that, bro. You feel me? Now, I'm not saying doing it in an illegal way or nothing like that. You feel me? I'm not saying I'm about to just give you money and then. But at the same time, if we dealing with each other, okay, I spend a little bread, we having fun, and that's our situation. I'm not mad at that, bro. Regular people do that.
Back in 2022, a little over a year after her breakup with Quavo, he seemingly called her out on the song Messy with the late Takeoff. Rest in peace to Takeoff. On that record, he said, BITCH, after my dog behind my back, but I ain't stressing. And at the time, everybody knew who the dog was rumored to be. It was Offset. And that lyric right there came right after online rumors started spreading online that Saweetie and Offset had hooked up behind Quavo's back, which allegedly is what started the beef between the two members.
Now that's crazy,
the Migos.
That's crazy.
The only two ones left. Saweetie never confirmed it, neither did Offset. However, Offset did years later. Recently, actually, he denied that. But that moment definitely changed how a lot of people started looking at Saweetie. So now with these new allegations from her former road manager.
Bro, people should have started looking at Saweetie different when she did the interview with her ex, bro, while she was with Quavo. That was the first thing I started looking at different. I'm like, damn, she did that. Like, with no type of shame either. Feel me? Like, no shame. Quavo had to come and get the Bentley back. Y'all remember he had to take the Bentley back. That was the first thing I thought was crazy. You feel me?
A lot of people started looking at Saweetie. So now with these new allegations from her former road manager, people are revisiting that old situation, not because the stories are, the same, but because they both paint a picture of how Saweetie moves when it comes to men with status and power, right? Now, her former road manager put up a few other posts, and one of the most notable ones is where she referred to...
Damn, I'm all up in the way, huh? I probably was in the way for a couple of little parts of this video. Y'all probably hating me right now. Hold on.
Jadon Sancho as a client. I want to make one thing clear. I booked her for an appearance to visit the Chelsea Stadium and support the soccer team. Instead of paying me, she fell in love with the client and told him not to pay me. I was a road manager with
hold on. I'm just a little bit of that, trying to move my head and stuff.
And one of the most notable ones is where she referred to Jadon Sancho as a client. I want to make one thing clear. I booked her for an appearance to visit the Chelsea Stadium and support the soccer team. Instead of paying me, she fell in love with the client and told him not to pay me. I was a road manager with her, getting her deals. I was solid to this girl. She got what she wanted and never paid me. Simple. I want my money.
If you're a producer who hates AI, this plugin might change your mind. This is reimagining co-producer.
All right, with the ads, man. The ads are killing me.
She claimed she was actually the one who arranged for Saweetie and Jadon to link up, but according to her, things didn't go as planned. And in reality, at least based on what the road manager is saying, the whole plan was for Saweetie to get together with Jadon, and he would trick on her. Okay, meaning he'd spend money on her, buy gifts, fly her out, take care of her financially in exchange for her time and attention. Basically, paying for the boom boom, right? But instead of keeping a business, Saweetie allegedly, fell in love with the guy, and that's what Miss Maybach is claiming. So that's when, this whole story turned from.
Okay. All right, I'm starting to see like how this story is opening up to where people are starting to. Like, I'm starting to see like where the controversy is starting to come from. The more he speak about it, like how it's starting to open up. Cause is that really her? Like, no, I'm still not surprised. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really still not surprised though. I'm not gonna fake. I'm really not. Think about the women in the industry. Saweetie's not the only one. I guarantee you, bro. Like, I'm not tripping. It's like when Diddy got caught. Like, he's not the only one. Saweetie not the only one. It's, bro, these female rappers who like big time, and do y'all not hear what they rapping about and how they dress and how they present themselves in the eyes of thousands and millions of people, bro? They don't even respect themselves. Like, these are, I don't want, like, these are like prostitutes. You feel me? I don't know if I can say the whole word or whatever without having like little complications with YouTube, but like these are like prostitutes. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what these girls is. That's how I look at them. Like that's really what they is. They got labels. The labels, the pimps, and they the hoes. I mean, it's the men too. The men hoes too. A lot of them. Keep it 100 with y'all, bro. They be doing all type of stuff behind the scenes you don't be knowing about.
Just messy.
Y'all see these TV shows they be putting out, bro. That stuff be real, bro.
Into something way more serious. I'll tell a joke, but I ain't never told a lie. I sent you to Dubai because you never balled before and was depressed looking for a happy life. Took you to London, babes. Took you to Nigeria. Booked you on an Australian tour. I helped this girl so much, only for her to play with my money at the end. I'm just missing my payment money from London. Pay up before I start naming the rest of the husbands you was playing with. And her beef with Saweetie is basically that Saweetie didn't pay her for these services, okay?
Damn.
Like 50 cents, she wanted her goddamn money. Now, some people might call that matchmaking or management, but depending on how you look at it, if what this woman is saying is actually true, that starts crossing into something way darker, because what she's describing sounds a lot like what they call procure. Because what she's describing sounds a lot like procuring, which by definition is when someone arranges or facilitates sexual encounters for.
She is a pimp. Okay? Let's just keep it 100. She's pimping, bro. It is what it is. She pimping, bro. You feel me? I mean, call it what you want to call it, but that's what it is, bro.
Money, for money on. In illegal terms, that's literally what's known as pimping or being a madame.
Exactly.
Which falls under sex trafficking laws in the United States and most other countries. So if, and that's a big if, what she's claiming actually happened, that wouldn't just be messy. That would be a crime. But again, these are just allegations. None of this has been confirmed, and Saweetie hasn't, publicly.
Ain't nobody about to go to jail for this, bro.
Spoken about this, and I just don't know how smart it is for the ex-manager to even put this out there publicly for a few reasons. Number one, I don't know if this is how she makes her money, but if it is, this move could seriously hurt her business, because anyone with money or status is going to look at this and think, yeah, I'm not working with someone who's exposing private stuff like that. And
yeah, now that's the thing I don't get. Like, as the manager or the pimp or whatever, why is you put your business out there to where everybody knows what's going on? Like, I don't get that part. Like, I feel like that's something you're supposed to keep discreet, to keep your money good, keep your face good, and all of that. You feel me? Now, I don't stand by the decision to even go into this type of profession or thing or nothing like that. But I'm saying if you was to go into it, it's like if you selling whatever, you ain't supposed to be selling anything illegal. Why would you make it known to everybody that's what you're doing? It just don't make sense. It'll make everybody working with you not want to work with you because you talk too much. And on top of that, it's like, you feel me? It's just, you got too much going on. You feel me? Why this little gap in between my camera keeps showing up like that? That's starting to really get on my nerves, and it's starting to really piss me off. You feel me?
number two, if there's even a little truth to what she's saying, she might have actually put herself in danger, because when you start talking about flying people around for things like that, it can get the authorities involved real quick. I mean, that's not just drama anymore. That's the kind of thing that can turn into a real investigation. So
nah, I'm thinking about it. I know I just said I don't think she can go to jail or nobody gonna go to jail, but I'm thinking about Diddy now, and I'm like, Never mind. You feel me? Maybe. You feel me?
Honestly, she might have exposed herself too while trying to expose Saweetie, because if this ever gets to the point where the FBI, whoever starts, looking into it, Saweetie could easily flip it into, she could say that, hey, I was being extorted, or, the manager was the one who was trying to set her up. And just like that, Saweetie gets the get out of jail free card, right? But that's beside the point. This type of thing isn't very rare in the entertainment world. Obviously, none of this is confirmed. These are all allegations, and that's exactly how we're labeling it for now, the Saweetie allegations.
At Shane Company,
I
we're
can't believe
all
y'all
about
surprised
you.
about this.
We'll help you create the dream engagement ring.
But let's
Like, this is who y'all surprised about doing this type of stuff? Her? You surprised that she's doing this? Are y'all for real right now? They, like, I don't know. Everybody can't read stuff. Like, everybody can't read things. But I don't know, bro. I don't even want to get into it. But it's not hard to tell she would do something like that.
be real, a lot of this kind of
Not to say that's what she did. Not to say it's true. But I wouldn't be surprised.
stuff goes on behind the scenes, right? And it's just that most of the time it never goes to the public, whether it's certain Instagram models or bottle girls, influencers. Once they're connected to the entertainment space, it's a whole different ball game, because what happens is you start mixing money, fame, and access. That's where the lines get blurry. Now, whatever you want to say about Saweetie, go ahead, but the truth is, she got money. She's a millionaire. She's not broke. She got money. But
How you know?
that doesn't automatically mean someone can get caught up in a situation like this. Because the truth is, a lot of women who move in these circles, they might have money, but at the same time, they just don't have that kind of money, right? Like, just to give you an idea, Jadon Sancho, the young man we talked about who's 25, who plays in the Premier League, he's reportedly making 300,000 British pounds a week. That's almost 400,000 US dollars every single week. So
Dang.
rapper money is very different from athlete, but specifically Premier League money, clearly. So when you're in those circles, when that kind of money is floating around, it's a different ballgame, right? And they don't just deal with random women on the street. They go through people, connections, introductions, recommendations, okay, from inside their little world. So when you see a woman with some kind of, popularity, and I'm not specifically saying Saweetie here, but when you see them with these types of women, these types of
This the girl that y'all surprised is doing this. Bro.
guys, they don't just pay for, sex. They're also paying for the drama-free experience that comes with it. They know that if they mess with another woman who doesn't have anything to lose, who isn't established or doesn't have her own name, that can get messy fast. But if the woman already has some kind of platform, status, or reputation, it feels safer to them, right? She understands discretion, she understands the game, and she's not about to risk everything for attention. That's the mindset a lot of these
That's what you would
ultra
think.
wealthy guys have. So it's not always about just attraction. It's about control, privacy, and keeping their world clean from unnecessary problems. I mean, we're talking about wealthy CEOs, executives, entrepreneurs, obviously athletes and musicians and stuff like that. And most of the time, these men already have like a main woman or a wife or a long-term partner who's already aware of how things work. So when they do have someone on the side, that's an arrangement, okay? They know that they can just mess around with anyone, because one bird-ass bitch can fuck up the whole operation. So that
Which, by the way, I don't really think it's nothing wrong with, I don't think it's nothing wrong with a man and a woman coming together just having fun. Like, y'all understand what's going on. Y'all not trying to be husband and wife, not even boyfriend, girlfriend. Y'all just want to get together, have a good time while y'all interested in each other, and y'all go y'all separate ways after that. I don't think it's nothing wrong with that, bro. As long as y'all both got a clear understanding of the situation, ain't nobody getting tricked or done wrong or whatever, and you feel me, all doing it in a cool little way, you feel me? I don't think it's nothing wrong with that, bro. I got the bread, you got the body, and we like each other vibe, so we gonna go on little dates, have a little fun. I'm in your city, pull up, you feel me? You at the club, I'm gonna pull up. Like, just fun, just, you feel me? It's just, I don't know. I wouldn't even say I would look at it like I would have a situation like that with a woman. But if I was rich, bro, I think I would more so be on that type of timing where it's just like any girl I'm dealing with, like, we just having fun with each other, bro. Like, we just having fun. It's not even just about the sex. It ain't even just about the bedroom. You feel me? Like, it's just everything. Like I said, pulling up to the club, going on little dinners. You feel me? I might want to go see a movie. I don't want to go by myself. You feel me? Like, we just got a situation, and part of the, and I'm just paying for all of our dates. It's like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't even think it's that deep. Now, the part about the arrangements and how it's being constructed, that's the deep part. But y'all being confused and shocked about her doing it is what I'm not understanding. But definitely the way it's being arranged and the way it's being exposed and the people that's involved as far as like the soccer player, and that's where it kind of get crazy at. You know what I'm saying?
That's why a lot of this stuff goes on very quietly through people they trust, introductions, recommendation circles, where everybody already knows the rules, like I said. So that gets into a whole different conversation, one I'm actually working on for a separate video. But back to Saweetie. Now, it's being alleged that she had multiple trips booked and arranged by this former road manager. The manager claims that they're flying out to all kinds of destinations, Europe, Africa, Australia with the kangaroos and shit, you name it. And according to her, those weren't just regular.
When the littlest member of the family calls the shots, they pick Bob Evans.
No, they do. No, they don't.
Work trips. She's claiming there was a whole other purpose behind them, which if true, would completely change how people look at Saweetie's public image, because even though these kinds of rumors have been echoing around the industry for years, Saweetie's always tried to play on a certain image, which is like the classy, feminine, and business savvy look, right? Or classy, I would say.
Them be the ones. Them be the ones, bro.
She just said, fuck it, right? So the Icy Girl brand that she built early on, it was about luxury, confidence, and independence. But at the same time, the way she's moved outside of that brand has often been the complete opposite. Like a few years ago, she went viral due to this Instagram live she put up where she was telling women, if he's not buying you a Birkin bag or paying your bills, throw that nigga back to the streets.
If he's not getting you a Birkin, if he's not paying for your bills, then throw that nigga back to the streets, okay?
Quinn's
That's the girl that y'all are, bruh. I'm embarrassed for y'all, and I'm disappointed in y'all, bruh. This girl, bruh. Ain't nobody worried about no Saweetie being a stand-up, classy, down-to-earth, moral-driven woman. Oh, Saweetie was being pimped. Okay. What else?
Coincidentally enough, she dropped a song right before that moment called Back to the Streets. So a lot of people started feeling like the whole thing was just marketing, which it was, where she was playing into that same image in order to sell the music. And the issue with that is pretty obvious. You're selling women in your audience this fantasy that if a man isn't buying you a designer bag, which is worthless, or paying your bills, he's not worth your time. Which in other words, you're basically saying this pum pum can be bought. Now, as for this particular story, again, these are just allegations. Saweetie hasn't responded to anything, but it's the kind of claim that sticks, especially when it feeds into an image people have already questioned. And the conversation that's been coming up about Saweetie for a while now is how much she's actually benefited from what people call pretty privilege, which in other words means the idea that her looks opened the door for her.
That's her whole career, bro. It's her face. I mean, that's her whole career, literally. It's her face. Even her hit song that she had, I don't even know how it go. I know I heard it before, but I don't even remember how the words go. Like when you think about certain rappers like City Girls or Sexy Red, Glorilla, even if you want to take it back, like Nicki Minaj, like I know the words to like the beginning to some of them songs, like Real Lad, Give Up About It, City Girls, Sexy Red got Hellcats, SRT, Glorilla got I'm FRE. I can't even think about Saweetie's. I don't even know how her songs start. Yeah, I don't know. I remember her face though.
That she's been rewarded for being attractive more than her actual talent.
Duh.
But recently, she actually flipped the whole conversation on its head and she went viral for it. During a recent interview, Saweetie actually talked about something she called pretty punishment. In her words, people have seen that she's gorgeous, she's getting money, she's getting bags, she's always in a spotlight. But what they don't see is how many doors were slammed in her face, how many times she's been counted out or underestimated because of her appearance. And this is according to her, right? This is her perspective. Saweetie said they talk about pretty privilege, but they don't talk about pretty punishment. And what she meant by that is that being pretty comes with a different kind of bias. People project on you, they assume things, and sometimes they even root against you out of animosity or hidden agendas. And Saweetie said that this is something that she's dealt with her entire life.
Yeah, but see, that's true. I do believe that some women are hated on, and sometimes even in the business world, they don't get respected. But it's like this though, like you gotta give and take, bro. No, nothing. Your life is not gonna be perfect. Like with anybody that's in the spotlight, you get love and you get hate, but that don't take away from you shining. You still shining through all of it. Like Saweetie gonna shine just like off the, like the prettiness definitely helped her more than it hurt her. Like it's nothing she could say to change that fact, bro. Like Saweetie being pretty was the whole reason for everything happening for her the way it did. If she wasn't pretty, she wouldn't be, bruh. Unless she had a trade, but I know she was smart. She went to school, so she probably could have still had a life and been successful. But it wouldn't have been to this magnitude to where everybody talking about her and all of that.
out of animosity or hidden agendas. And Saweetie said that this is something that she's dealt with her entire life.
Feel like the industry has tried to count you out? Like,
since I started.
talk about it, man.
And your music is not good. You can't rap. Like, I mean, at least you gotta at least be hard with the music or something. Like, come on now.
Because I think people, look, to be honest, people see you're gorgeous. You're getting endless bags. You are, listen, that girl. I don't think they understand how many doors, how many rejections, how many times people have counted you out.
I saw it on TikTok. They were like, they talk about pretty privilege, but they don't talk about pretty punishment.
You seen it on TikTok? That's where you lost. Stop talking. We're not even about to talk about it. You seen it on TikTok? Girl, nobody care what nobody said on TikTok.
You out.
I saw it on TikTok. They were like, they talk about pretty privilege, but they don't talk about pretty punishment. There's been so many times I've just been counted out, and I know that it's behind animosity. I know it's because of a hidden agenda, but it makes me work harder. But this has happened like my whole life.
Success isn't a single destination. It's a journey.
So it's like what I deal with in the industry is just different face, same case.
Oof.
Now, after that clip went viral, Saweetie got a lot of backlash online, but she pushed back, saying the media twisted her words and misrepresented her point. On X, formerly known as Twitter, she said the conversation wasn't about bragging or complaining. It was about microaggressions, hidden agendas, and what it's really like to move through the industry as a woman who's constantly being judged for her looks. And she clarified that she's grateful and she's happy for her success. You know, glory to God, I believe she said. But the pressure, bias, and judgment is real. And she ended it by saying she's not fazed and that she'll keep going because she has a vision, right? So yeah, she framed the whole pretty privilege narrative into something deeper. And whether you agree or not, it's definitely got people talking, right? Now, I don't know exactly where Saweetie stands after these allegations. We haven't heard her side. And everything that's come out so far is still just claims. But what we do know is that this whole conversation opens up a much bigger door because it's way more common than people think. And it got me thinking about something else, which is if Saweetie, someone with money, fame, and a career, and a very strong brand, is allegedly moving this way, imagine what's going on with the industry women who don't have any of that. Imagine what a lot of these Instagram models are doing behind the scenes, like not the established ones, the ones who are trying to get it popping just now. The ones who are flying out to all these different places like it's nothing. Amsterdam to Bali to Oslo. Next day she's all up in New York and then back to Bali. Like, bitch, how the fuck you do that shit?
Bro, I could think about a couple girls right now off the top of my head that I follow on Instagram who not famous, that I done met on the street, met at the club, whatever. And I'll just be seeing they just be here and there and there and there. And I could just see the lifestyle like, oh, you got some other type of stuff going on. Like, it's easy to tell, you feel me? Unless you got a business that I could just tell is booming, like everybody coming to you for something, you feel me? But for the most part, bro, these girls, bro, they same thing Saweetie doing, these girls doing it too on a lower level, bro, lower scale, man. It's a lot of men out here that got some bread, willing to pay for it. If the girl look good, she wants some money, she gonna give it to him. There's a lot of girls out here like that, bro. Like, this story don't shock me at all, nothing. Like, I don't even care, for real.
Posting this luxurious lifestyle, but they don't have a consistent stream of income. And a lot of them are just doing what they can to keep up with the image, to survive, to maintain a lifestyle, or to chase that next opportunity, which usually comes in the form of a man with money who they're using as a come up. I think these allegations are pretty wild. And to emphasize once again, these are just allegations right now. However, I don't know, man. Like Dexter Morgan, I have a hunch. I have a feeling we might hear some more about this story or something connected to it. And that's just a feeling. What do you guys think about these Saweetie allegations, though? If you made it this far, drop a like on this video. And
man, the Saweetie allegations are not surprising. I don't know why people care so much about it, honestly. But Saweetie is the type of girl, if I was to know her, my relationship with her would be, and I'm not a big, like, you know, I think Saweetie's very pretty, got a nice body and everything, very, very attractive. But Saweetie wouldn't be the girl I would just be, like, in a situation with if I was on that level, you feel me? Like, if I was on that level where I just could pick from almost any female, like, Saweetie wouldn't be the one. Like, I'd probably pick somebody else. But Saweetie pretty as hell. But Saweetie would be the girl that I see in the club or whatever. I'll probably buy her some drinks, you feel me? I might take her on a little breakfast date next morning, you feel me? But y'all know how this goes, man. Why y'all act like y'all don't know what's going on, man? I'm out, man. Like, comment, subscribe, bro.